So you got that drive to make music, man. I know you used to play soccer. You think the background as an athlete has helped you as an artist?
Yeah, it's funny that you bring that up because I was just having a conversation with one of my like really good homies that I grew up with.
Yeah.
And like the discipline and dedication that I put into soccer,
yeah.
like I feel like I treat that like I put that same energy into music.
That's
so,
huge,
like, it's almost like a sport to me.
It really
like,
is. Yo, you gotta practice.
Exactly. So I'm just
practice.
like extremely disciplined. Like as much as like I love having fun, like I'm really just like always working and always just trying to like better myself and try to like really dedicate myself to just the art of music because I want to, you know what I mean? I want to be an artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like that doesn't happen overnight. Like you could be famous overnight, but like when it comes to your artistry,
so you look at it as
like,
someone like,
yeah,
oh,
like
I can't wait to see what they
I want to
make.
be known to impact as many people as I can.
That's huge.
You know,
man.
and I feel like dedicating myself and sacrificing and just taking risks, like it's always ends up being worth it because like at the end of the day, like it's what I love doing. And so yeah, bro. And honestly too, like when you find that purpose and like when you find that like that thing that drives you, it's so easy. It's not like you're like forcing yourself to do it. So like as of recently too, like I feel like music has been just coming so effortlessly to me and like ideas have been coming to me like so effortlessly because like I feel like I'm finally like in my bag as far as like I know what LostinVegas is and like I know what like I have to offer to the world, so like that's like my main drive, honestly.
That's so dope, bro. Yeah, man. I tapped into your earlier work and it sounded like a lot more, you were focused a lot more just on like bars, like getting like the hardest bars out.
Yeah.
Now you're more focused on like a sonic sound.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's because you've taken those risks? Do you feel like you're more comfortable in where you are?
Yeah, well,
as an artist?
I feel like I'm finding my voice. So
that's huge, yeah.
When I first started music, like I had no idea how to make music or what, like I was just doing what I kind of knew how to do, and
that's crazy.
When I was in high school, I wrote poetry.
Okay.
Right, so I kind of took that same concept like into music. So I was just writing raps, like you know. What I'm saying?
Just like dropping like 4 bars.
And like rapping was like the only thing I really felt comfortable doing.
Yeah.
Right. So I was just rapping. Right. And then I met Mod, and then I saw how he recorded because before I met Mod, I was always writing stuff down. I remember like being in the studio with him for the first time, and it's so funny because he was just like screaming into the mic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like just screaming and just like singing and just throwing melodies out there and like all this stuff, and I'm like sitting there and I'm just like, you don't like write your stuff at all? And he's like, no, I don't. It was like, it reminded me of watching the Lil Wayne documentary of him just like
just letting out what he felt. I seen that. It's Slide Surfing. That video, I seen that.
Bro, and I'm just like, whoa, bro, like it blew my mind, and I'm like, okay, cool, like when I saw that, I was like, okay, so this is what I need to do to tap in more, and I realized like when you do that, you actually like completely like tap into just like a whole different creative side in you. Absolutely. And like it just kind of comes out, like you just like allow it to come out instead of forcing it to come out. And so honestly, ever since then, I've just been like, that's how I make all my songs. It's just freestyling into the mic, figuring out like what melodies I like, and honestly, like it helped me find my voice as far as singing goes. And I just kind of just started pushing myself, experimenting. So like a lot of my earlier stuff is just me experimenting with different styles, genres, melodies, and stuff like that. So yeah, now I feel like I'm honing in on like, okay, cool, this is my style. Yeah.
Man, that's major, bro. Yeah. So you found your sound now. What like sort of advice would you tell someone that's like never like touched any sort of the industry, learned about the experience of being like a true artist, like still going to open mics? What would you say to someone like that?
I would just say keep going. Because you never know what's gonna happen. Man. You know what I mean? And like that's what I did. Like I just kept on going. It didn't matter what situation I was in, like whether I was like sleeping in my car, whether I was broke, like whether I had like literally no money to eat. Like I just kept like just following my vision and just following like what I felt like I needed to do, and like I just didn't make any excuses. Like none of that was like important to me at the time, like because I always knew like it was just a temporary situation. So like if I have any advice, like keep working, keep grinding, just keep on visualizing like what you want, and just like I always say this, like when you have darts and like when you're throwing darts at the board and you have like 100 darts, eventually you're gonna hit a bullseye. You know what I'm saying? So just keep on throwing those darts at the you know what I'm saying?
I love that. Yeah, that's
eventually,
a great,
bro, something is gonna happen, bro.
I absolutely
and like when
love
you're
that.
and that's the thing, like when you're like following like your purpose, like your higher self, and like you're aligned with yourself, and like you're internally like you feel that like passion, like the universe is gonna conspire with you, like the universe is on your side. So that's when you start manifesting things and miracles start to happen, and like you start seeing synchronicities, and that's when you like start tapping into like this like almost like the spiritual side of like being creative. And honestly, it goes in with like making clothes or like with anything, and you start realizing like how much power you actually have. And like honestly, like I felt like I don't look at those times as like, man, like that really sucked. Like I'm actually like really grateful for those times where I had to like grind it out, or where I like was in a situation where I felt like I failed or whatever, because honestly, like I'm only here because of all the mistakes I made. So I just made a lot of mistakes. You know what I mean? So like also don't be afraid to make mistakes, because your mistakes are gonna make you who you are. So like yeah.
Dude, that's gas, bro. I feel inspired, bro. I feel so inspired right now.
Sorry, bro. I can talk about this all day, bro.